third dimension.
3D Newsbite.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Who isn't coming to theaters in 2020? Who will be impossible to find in 3D Blu-ray? Hello. This is Adolph, and I am by myself in this 3D Newsbite podcast, and I want to talk about SpongeBob. If my little intro did not scare you away, it might be on the verge of cringiness and awesomeness, but I'll let you be the judge. Comment below. Tell me if you loved it or hated it. But the whole reason we're talking today in this podcast is because new SpongeBob movie, SpongeBob Sponge on the Run, is no longer going to be a 2020 movie. It was first going to be a May 22nd, 2020 movie, then an August 7th, 2020 movie, and now a 2021 movie because Paramount has moved the date. So SpongeBob is owned by Paramount, Viacom, CBS, and they decided just screw it and put it on VOD in 2021. I don't know why it's going to take that long. First of all, it feels like it's forever. Like this should be available, now. I mean, it's an animated movie. And the release date originally was a month ago from recording. And so what else are they going to do? Are they going to change the plot or something? Animation's easier to do than live action. So I know they're going to redo CBS All Access and expand it and have more Paramount stuff on there. But right now, they don't have anything like that on there. So this is going to be one of their exclusive things. And I know CBS All Access is not a super popular streaming service. It has Twilight Zone, it has Star Trek Into Darkness, and Picard. Into Darkness is kind of a accidental misstep because Star Trek on CBS All Access is much darker than regular Star Trek, with Star Trek Picard and Discovery being much more darker. And I do enjoy, but not Star Trek. This is SpongeBob. So it's really surprising that this is not getting the same thing that Trolls World Tour and Scoob did, where, all right, screw it, just put it up on VOD, and that's that. It's going to get apparently, it doesn't make any sense why it's going to VOD next year, not this year, and then two, why this, why CBS All Access. I guess I can imagine it eventually being there, but it seems like a weird decision. And so I wasn't really super excited to see this movie. It's the first fully CGI animated SpongeBob movie. The other ones were a mix of CG animation and traditional cartoon 2D animation. The last one, which I reviewed, and I did not like, did have some CGI stuff when it went on land. What is that movie called? That movie I gave a 4 out of 10 for, and I felt like it was just not inspired. Like, I actually do feel like I'm a fan of SpongeBob. I mean, I haven't watched all the seasons, which there's like 30 seasons or something. Not really, but there's a lot of seasons. And I've probably watched, of the 12, maybe 3, kind of randomly on cable, flipping channels kind of thing if I'm bored. So I know what's going on. The thing that's sad about this is that the 3D release is what's gone. And the SpongeBob, even if I didn't love the last one. Okay, I'm just gonna put it out there. I thought it was weak. The movie wise, it just didn't work. That movie was called Sponge Out of Water. And the thing about it was the 3D aspect was great. Absolutely fantastic. I was really debating if I should give it an Editor's Choice Award because it was just beautiful and stunning with the depth and the pop out. And it worked for what it was. So this movie being fully CGI and having the pedigree of the previous movie being fantastic in 3D, I was looking forward to it just because of the 3D aspect. The movie itself, from what I've heard, this movie is about Gary getting lost and the adventure of SpongeBob trying to find him, Gary being his pet snail. And apparently they already did that story. So they're just kind of making stories from the TV show into movies. And that's the problem I have with this. The TV shows that go into be movies should get a bigger scale and be completely new stories. The Simpsons, for example, I think did it right, where The Simpsons didn't just do an episode. They did something that's much bigger scale. The whole town was in trouble and they were under the dome, and it was much more than just an episode. And I really enjoyed the Simpsons movie, and because it tried to be more than just a long episode. So SpongeBob, I don't think I've watched the first movie. I think I watched most of it off and on here and there, but overall it's just kind of a lazy thing that makes a ton of money. That's why there's been, almost 13 years of the show. So it's disappointing to see yet another 3D movie in 2020 just fall off in the vapor. We did eventually get a 3D Blu-ray of Trolls World Tour. Now, will a 3D Blu-ray of this come out? I don't know. Because it's going to be hard. It's, obviously Paramount here is going to bank on, okay, people are going to buy it on video on demand and watch it with their kids or whatever. And, or they watch it or give it to their kids to watch. And maybe they'll get CBS All Access and they'll watch it there too. And they'll probably maybe release a Blu-ray later. If it's going to come out till next year, which it doesn't even have a date, which is really disappointing. It doesn't make any sense. And the Blu-ray may take another year to come out, and who knows if it will actually be a 3D Blu-ray or if it's just going to be lost in the ether and the 3D version of this is just gone. Like, it doesn't exist. It's in the Paramount CBS vault to never be seen. It's disappointing. So, as we're about halfway through the year, coronavirus, COVID-19 is not really calming down. It's getting worse in many parts of the world, and especially where I live. It's hard to see what movies will actually get a real theatrical release at all. So this year it sucks for multiple reasons, and not having 3D movie releases is one of those reasons. And it looks like this might be the end of 3D, but you never know. You never know. Maybe Avatar 2 comes out next year and, is the reason why people go to the theaters or something. I don't know. I hope we still get 3D movies. I want more 3D movies. It feels weird coming to almost July 4th and not seeing another 3D movies since Onward. And we should be deep into the summer movie season now and nothing. Are you bummed out that SpongeBob Sponge on the Run is not coming out this year, 2020? And when it does eventually come out on Blu-ray, it may not have a 3D Blu-ray version. CBS Paramount has a really mixed record. What movies come out in 3D Blu-ray or not. So previously, they were really good about releasing 3D Blu-rays, but it seems like lately the 3D Blu-rays will be very rare, if ever. I don't think we ever got a Mission Impossible Fallout 3D Blu-ray, so we shall see what happens. That's it for this little podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye. Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D and Mr. Bengal 5 for your financial support on patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.